The Galactic Council Hall was the largest room in known space. It floated above a dead star, protected by shields stronger than planets. Inside, hundreds of alien leaders sat on glowing platforms. They came from different worlds, tall, short, scaled, furred, and armored. These were the rulers of powerful empires, species that had conquered galaxies. Today, they were nervous. At the center of the hall stood Ambassador Rex. He was old. His skin was pale blue, his eyes dark and tired. He had survived more wars than anyone in the room. His title was Diplomat. Of endless conflicts, he was known for calm words and careful lies. But today, Rex was shaking. His long fingers trembled as he activated the speaker field. The soft hum echoed through the hall. "Honored members of the council," he began. His voice cracked. The room noticed. A tall armored alien leaned forward. "Ambassador Rex," the alien said coldly. "You requested this emergency session. Speak. Who threatens us?" Rex swallowed. "Humans," he said. The hall exploded with laughter. Some aliens clicked their jaws in amusement. Others made mocking sounds. A few leaders even stood up, offended. "Humans?" One leader laughed. "Those soft creatures from the blue planet? They are weak," another said. "Short lives, small bodies, no natural weapons." Rex did not smile. He raised one shaking hand. "Please," he said quietly, "before you laugh, listen." The laughter slowly died. Rex looked around the hall. He saw pride, confidence, arrogance. He remembered seeing the same looks before, right before extinction. "I have seen wars," Rex continued. "I have seen species with stronger claws, bigger fleets, better weapons." He paused. "All of them are gone." Silence filled the hall. Rex activated a hologram. A battlefield appeared in the air. Stars burned in the background. Ships clashed. Explosions filled space. "This," Rex said, "was the Battle of Karsus." The council recognized it. A famous alien victory. At least that was what history said. The human fleet was smaller, Rex explained. Outnumbered 10-1, their ships were damaged. Their weapons outdated. The hologram zoomed in. Human ships were on fire. Some were breaking apart. "They should have retreated," Rex said. "They did not." The image showed human ships charging forward, straight into enemy fire. One alien leader stood up. "That is stupidity," he said. Rex turned slowly. His eyes were full of fear. "No," he replied. "That is something far worse." The hologram changed. Human ships exploded on purpose. "They used their own ships as weapons," Rex said. "They crashed into our fleets. They turned defeat into destruction." The room grew quiet. Rex continued. "When humans realized they could not win, they changed the meaning of winning." He waved his hand. New images appeared. Human soldiers fighting on ruined stations. Injured, bleeding, still moving. One human used a broken weapon like a club. Another blocked a blast meant for others. "They fought without rest," Rex said. "Without fear, without surrender." An alien general spoke nervously. "Every species fights when cornered." Rex shook his head. "No," he said. "Humans adapt when cornered." The hologram showed human engineers rebuilding weapons mid-battle, changing tactics in minutes. "Aliens follow doctrine," Rex said. "Humans follow results." He deactivated the hologram. The council hall was completely silent. Rex took a deep breath. "You see humans as weak," he said, "because they are gentle in peace." He looked directly at the council leader. "But when you threaten their homes, their families, their world," his voice dropped to a whisper, "they do not fight like soldiers." He raised his head. "They fight like gods of war." A low murmur spread through the hall. "That is impossible," someone said softly. Rex stepped back. "I once asked a human commander why they kept fighting," he said. He was injured, surrounded, out of ammo. Virex closed his eyes. The human looked at me and said, "If we stop, they reach Earth." Virex opened his eyes. "That was all," he said. "No honor. No glory, just protection." The council leader stood slowly. "You are saying," he said carefully, "that attacking Earth would be dangerous?" Virex nodded. "Not dangerous," he replied. "Suicidal." The hall went silent again. Far away, beyond the council's shields, a small blue planet continued to spin peacefully, unaware that the galaxy was deciding whether to awaken humanity's true nature. Years before the Galactic Council's emergency meeting, the war began quietly, too quietly, on the edge of human space. There was a small colony called Haven 17. It was not important. No rare minerals. No great fleets. Just families, farmers, and engineers. The alien empire known as the Kreef Dominion chose it as a test. Their scouts reported that humans were divided, politically weak, militarily average, easy target. The Kreef commanders decided. The attack came at dawn. Alien warships dropped out of hyperspace above Haven 17. Their weapons fired without warning. Defense satellites exploded in seconds. Cities burned before alarms could finish sounding. From orbit, the Kreef watched calmly. "This will be quick," one commander said. On the surface, humans ran for shelters. Many were unarmed. Many were scared, but not all of them. A human officer named Commander Ilias Rowe stood inside a damaged command bunker. His communication screens flickered. Half his defenses were gone. "Enemy fleet is overwhelming," an officer said. "We can't win." Rowe looked at the screen. "I know," he replied. Then he said something unexpected. "Delay them." The officers stared. "Sir?" "Every minute," Rowe said calmly, "is a victory." Human fighters launched from hidden hangars. Old ships. Poor armor. Weak weapons. They attacked anyway. The Kreef fleet laughed as human ships rushed forward. Then one human ship detonated too. Close. It had overloaded its own reactor. The explosion damaged 3 alien cruisers. The Kreef commanders stopped laughing. "They are using suicide attacks?" one asked. "No," another replied slowly. "They are buying time." On the surface, human civilians were being evacuated through underground tunnels. Engineers collapsed passages behind them. Soldiers stayed behind to hold doors that would never open again. A human medic dragged wounded people while explosions shook the ground. "Go," the soldier told her. "I'll hold them." "You'll die," she said. The soldier nodded. "Yeah," he replied, "but they won't pass." The Kreef troops pushed forward. They had better weapons, stronger armor, but humans did not retreat the way simulations predicted. They ambushed from ruins. They trapped corridors. They used broken machines as bombs. They fought dirty. They fought smart. And when they could not fight anymore, they fought harder. Hours passed, then days. Haven 17 was supposed to fall in 1 hour. Instead, the Kreef fleet took heavy losses. Finally, the order came: withdraw. The Kreef left the planet burning. From orbit, the commanders reported victory. Haven 17 was destroyed. Human losses were extreme. The war, they believed, was over. They were wrong, because humans did not see Haven 17 as a defeat. They saw it as a lesson. Back on Earth, analysts studied every second of the battle. Engineers rebuilt ships using alien wreckage. Soldiers trained against Kreef tactics. Human commanders asked one question again and again: how do we make them pay next time? Months later, a human fleet appeared near Kreef space. It was larger, faster, different. The Kreef commander who faced them felt uneasy. Human ships did not form neat lines. They spread out, changed formation constantly. When the Kreef fired, humans moved. When Kreef shields adapted, humans changed weapons. Nothing stayed predictable. Why do they fight like this? A Kreef officer asked. The commander watched in silence. Because, he said slowly, they already lost once. The battle ended in shock. Human ships were damaged. Some were destroyed, but the Kreef fleet was shattered. Humans did not chase survivors. They sent a message instead. A simple transmission. We remember Haven 17. Across the galaxy, alien intelligence agencies began rewriting reports. Humans were no longer listed as average. They were listed as dangerous. And somewhere far away, Ambassador Virex watched the data streams with growing fear, because he understood something the others still ignored. Humans did not need to win the first war. They only needed to learn. The Kreef Dominion believed they understood humans now. That belief would cost them everything. After the battle near Kreef space, alien analysts studied the recordings again and again. They counted ships. They measured weapons. They compared losses. Their conclusion was simple. Humans are reckless, one analyst said. They win only by surprise. The Kreef High Command agreed. They prepared for the next encounter with bigger fleets, stronger shields, and improved weapons. What they did not prepare for was human thinking. On Earth, human war councils were not celebrating. They were quiet. Admirals, engineers, scientists, and soldiers sat in long rooms filled with screens. Every human loss was listed. Every mistake was replayed. Humans did not ask who was to blame. They asked what worked. Commander Elias Rowe stood before the council again. His uniform was damaged. His face older. They expect us to fight like them, Rowe said. That's their mistake, a general frowned. We don't have their numbers, Rowe nodded. Then we stopped playing their game. Human strategy changed that day. Instead of attacking fleets, humans attacked systems. Supply lines vanished. Communication relays went silent. Fuel stations exploded in deep space with no warning. Kreef fleets began running out of fuel. Then something worse happened. Human ships started disappearing. At first, the Kreef believed they were destroyed. They were wrong. The ships were hiding. Human engineers had learned to mask heat, noise, and signals. Fleets waited inside asteroid fields, nebula, clouds, and even inside the shadow of stars. When Kreef ships passed, humans struck from nowhere. Fast, precise, brutal. A Kreef captain screamed as human boarding pods cut through his ship's hull. This is illegal warfare. He shouted. Humans did not respond. They moved through corridors in small teams. No heavy armor, no fear. They shut down reactors. They locked escape routes. They left survivors alive. To carry stories. Soon, Kreef commanders began to hesitate. Every jump could be a trap. Every signal could be bait. Even silence felt dangerous. One Kreef officer finally said the truth out loud. They are hunting us. The next human tactic broke the Dominion's pride completely. Humans began retreating on purpose. They abandoned planets. They left stations intact. They allowed Kreef forces to advance easily. The Kreef celebrated. Then human traps activated. Entire invasion forces were caught between minefields, hidden fleets, and planet-based weapons that activated only after landing. The Kreef realized too late. Humans were using patience as a weapon. On one captured Kreef ship, a wounded alien commander asked a human soldier a question. Why do you fight like this? He demanded. There are rules. The human cleaned his weapon calmly. You attacked our homes, he replied. Rules ended there. Reports reached the Galactic Council. Ambassador Virex read them alone. Each report was worse than the last. Human fleets were not winning through strength. They were winning through adaptation. Through memory. Through refusal to forget. Virex understood something terrifying. Other species fought wars. Humans studied them. They recorded fear. They measured pain. They learned what broke enemies fastest. The Kreef Dominion's borders began to collapse, not because humans conquered worlds, but because no Kreef commander felt safe anywhere, even deep inside their territory. Alarms never Stop. Sleep became rare. Morale shattered. Kreeth Admiral sent a desperate message to High Command. "We are not fighting an enemy," he wrote. "We are fighting a species that learns faster than we can recover." On Earth, human news channels did not show victory parades, that they showed memorial walls, names, faces, families. Each loss hardened human resolve. The war was no longer about territory. It was about never being helpless again. And far across the stars, Ambassador Varex finally said the words he feared most. "If this continues, the galaxy will learn what happens when humans stop fighting fair." The galaxy had never seen a battle like this before. It began near the Relos Gate, a massive hyperspace junction used by dozens of empires. Whoever controlled it controlled trade, fleets, and war routes. The Kreeth Dominion gathered everything they had left. Thousands of warships, planet-killer weapons, veteran commanders. This time they were ready. "This ends today," the Kreeth High Admiral declared. "Humans will learn their place." The Kreeth fleet formed perfect lines. Shields overlapped. Weapons charged together. It was beautiful, orderly, powerful. Then the humans arrived. They did not come in lines. They did not come together. Human ships dropped out of hyperspace in small, scattered groups from impossible angles, at strange distances. Some appeared damaged. Some looked unfinished. The Kreeth sensors struggled to track them. "What are they doing?" a Kreeth officer asked. The High Admiral narrowed his eyes. "Ignore the small groups. Focus fire." The Kreeth fleet fired. Space turned white with energy. Dozens of human ships were destroyed. Instantly, Kreeth commanders relaxed. Then the human ships did something unexpected. They kept advancing, even the damaged ones, even the burning ones. A human cruiser, its engines failing, turned directly toward the Kreeth flagship. "Target disabled," a Kreeth officer said. "No," another whispered. "It's accelerating." The human ship slammed into the flagship shield. Then it detonated. The explosion shattered the shield and tore through the flagship's hull. Alarms screamed across the Kreeth fleet. "That was intentional," the High Admiral said slowly. Before he could finish the thought, the Relos Gate activated. Human ships poured out of it. Hundreds, then thousands. The earlier groups were not the main force. They were bait. Human fleets attacked from every direction. From above, below, and through debris. Fields. Krath formations broke. Their perfect lines turned into chaos. Human ships moved differently. They did not stay still. They did not wait for orders. Each ship acted independently. If one path was blocked, they created another. If weapons failed, they changed tactics. If shields fell, they closed distance. Human boarding teams launched into Kreeth vessels. Not elite soldiers, engineers, pilots, medics. Anyone who could fight, fought. Inside one Kreeth cruiser, an alien captain watched humans cut through sealed doors. "They feel no fear," he whispered. "No," his officer replied. "They feel purpose." Human soldiers fought silently. No war cries. No celebration. Just movement. Just progress. Meanwhile, Kreeth command channels were flooded with panic. Shields failing. "We are surrounded. They are targeting our command ships." The High Admiral slammed his claw into the console. "Hold formation." But there was no formation left. Human ships targeted leaders, not fleets. One by one, Kreeth command vessels exploded, without leaders. Kreeth ships hesitated. Humans did not. A human carrier opened its bays. Inside were small attack crafts, old, fast and fragile. They rushed forward in waves. Many were destroyed. The rest reached their targets. Explosions chained through the Kreeth fleet. The Relos Gate, once a symbol of control, became a graveyard. After hours of fighting, silence returned. The Kreeth fleet was gone, not defeated. Erased. Human ships remained, damaged, scarred, still moving. They did not cheer. They did not pursue fleeing enemies. They regrouped, repaired, counted losses across the galaxy. Sensors recorded the battle. Alien governments watched in disbelief. This was impossible. One council analyst said. Another replied quietly, it was inevitable. For the first time in galactic history, a major empire collapsed in a single battle, not because humans were stronger, but because humans were unstoppable once committed, on a distant station. Ambassador Varex watched the final data stream. He closed his eyes. The galaxy still thinks humans won today, he whispered. They don't understand. He opened his eyes again. This was humanity showing restraint. Beyond the stars, Earth continued to stand, and now, everyone was watching it with fear. The galaxy changed after the Battle of Relos Gate. Trade routes went silent. Border patrols doubled. Old alliances began to crack. Every empire asked the same question. What do humans want? Inside the Galactic Council hall, emergency lights glowed. The room that once echoed with laughter now felt small and cold. Ambassador Varex stood alone. At the center, this time, no one laughed. Alien leaders watched him carefully. Some looked afraid. Others looked angry. The Crete Dominion is finished, the council leader said. Its fleets destroyed. Its command broken. Varex nodded. Yes. Then the threat is gone, another leader said. Why are you still worried? Varex lifted his head slowly. Because the humans stopped, he said. The hall grew uneasy. They could have pushed deeper, Varex continued. They had open paths, no real resistance, he paused. They chose not to. 1. Alien slammed a claw onto his platform. That proves they are peaceful. Varex's eyes hardened. No, he said quietly. It proves they are controlled. A hologram appeared. It showed human fleets returning home. Damaged ships being repaired. Soldiers standing in silence, watching memorial screens. No victory. Songs, Varex said. No celebrations. He changed the image. Human leaders in closed rooms. Maps marked with red zones. They are not asking how much they won. Varex said. They are asking when this could happen again. An alien diplomat shifted uncomfortably. All species prepare for future wars. Varex turned to him. Humans prepare for worst-case futures, he replied. He stepped closer to the center. I have studied humans for years, Varex said. They are kind when safe, generous when respected. The hologram changed again. It showed Haven 17, burned cities, silent streets. But humans do not forget, Varex said. They remember every loss, every name. He lowered his voice. They do not seek revenge for pleasure. They seek prevention. The council leader folded his arms. Are you saying they will attack again? Varex shook his head. I'm saying something worse, he replied. They will never allow weakness again. A deep silence filled the hall. Varex activated a final data file. Human military projections filled the air, not invasion plans, defense layers, backup fleets, rapid response routes. This is not conquest, Varex said. This is preparation to end any future threat before it grows. An alien scientist whispered. They are building a shield around themselves. Varex nodded, and around anyone they choose to protect. Fear spread through the council, because protection could also mean control. One leader finally asked the question everyone feared. What happens if humans decide someone is a threat? Just by existing? Varex did not answer immediately. He looked around the hall. I once heard a human phrase, he said slowly. Never again, the words echoed. They said it after losing Haven 17, Varex continued. And they mean it. The council leader stood. Then we must ensure peace, he said firmly. We will send envoys, treaties, trade offers. Varex bowed his head slightly. That is wise, he said. Then he added one final sentence. But remember this. If peace fails, humans will not rage. They will solve the problem. The council lights dimmed. Across the galaxy, alien fleets pulled back from human borders, not because humans demanded it, but because no one wanted to find out what humanity would do next. For a long time, peace-held. Human borders stayed quiet. Fleets remained defensive. Trade slowly returned. Many in the galaxy began to relax. They believed Ambassador Virex had been wrong. Then the Zeroth Accord was signed. It was a secret alliance between several fearful empires. They did not trust humans. They did not believe in peace. They believed in ending the problem early. Their plan was simple. Strike first. Strike hard. Strike Earth. They did not declare war. They did not send warnings. Their fleets appeared above human space in total silence. Deep on Earth, sensors screamed to life. Multiple hyperspace breaches. Human commanders froze for half a second. Then, training took over. Defense networks activated instantly. Civilian shelters opened. Old war fleets launched alongside new ones, but the numbers were terrible. The allied alien fleets were massive. This is it. A young officer whispered. Commander Elias Rowe stood at the command table again. Older now, colder. He looked at the map. They crossed the line, he said. The first alien shots hit Earth's outer defenses. Stations exploded. Moonside bases vanished in fire. On Earth, civilians watched the sky burn. Human leaders made a choice they had hoped never to make. They activated Protocol Black Dawn. Few humans knew what it was. Fewer aliens understood it. Hidden across human space, silent stations woke up. Long-dormant fleets powered on. Weapons designed not for victory, but for finality. Human fleets did not rush forward. They waited. Alien commanders smiled. They hesitate. One said. Then human signals changed. Every human ship transmitted the same message. Protect Earth. End the threat. That was all. Human ships moved with terrifying precision. Fleets separated into hunting groups. Each group had one task: remove the enemy's ability to continue the war. Alien command. Ships vanished first, then supply fleets. Then communication relays. Alien forces became blind. One alien admiral shouted, "Fall back!" There was nowhere to fall back to. Human weapons did not target ships alone. They targeted infrastructure. Gateways collapsed. Jump points destabilized. Retreat became impossible. Alien fleets panicked. Some surrendered. Humans accepted. Others fought. Humans finished them. On Earth, civilians listened to emergency broadcasts. No speeches. No promises. Only calm updates. Threat level decreasing. Defensive line holding. Hours passed. Then silence. The alien fleets were gone. Not pushed back. Not scattered. Human ships returned to formation. Damaged. Exhausted. Alive. Commander Rowe looked at the final report. He closed his eyes. "We warned them," he said softly. Across the galaxy, shock spread like fire. The Zeroth Accord collapsed overnight. Member empires denied involvement. Fleets withdrew. Borders sealed. Ambassador Virex watched the news feeds. His hands shook again. They forced humanity to cross it. He whispered, the line they never wanted to cross. Far above Earth, human ships stayed on guard. Humanity did not celebrate. They mourned. Because they knew something the galaxy still struggled to accept. Peace with humans was always possible, but once broken, it could never be restored the same way again. The war was over, but the silence that followed was louder than any battle. Across the galaxy, stars burned quietly. Trade routes reopened slowly. Fleets stayed far from human space. No empire wanted to be the next mistake. Inside the Galactic Council hall, the seats were filled again. But the mood was different. No pride, no arrogance, only caution. Ambassador Virex stood before them one last time. He looked older than ever. The human homeworld still stands, the council leader said. Their fleets remain defensive. They have not expanded. They have not demanded tribute. A murmur spread through the room. Then perhaps, another leader said, they are not gods of war after all. Virex raised his head slowly. That, he said, is the most dangerous misunderstanding of all. He activated the final hologram. It showed Earth. Cities rebuilding. Children walking to schools. Farmers working fields. Soldiers returning home. Quietly. This is what humans fight for, Virex said. Not power, not control. He changed the image. Memorial walls appeared. Millions of names. Silent candles. They remember every cost, he continued. And that is why they are careful. An alien diplomat leaned forward. If they are so powerful, he asked, why didn't they conquer us? Virex answered without hesitation. Because humans fear becoming what they fight. The room went still. They crossed the line once, Virex said. And it terrified them. He lowered his voice, not because of what they did to others, but because of what they learned about themselves. On Earth, Commander Elias Rowe stood before a group of young officers. The war hero title never sat well on him. You think we won, he told them. They nodded. Rowe shook his head. We survived, he said. That's different. A young officer asked, what happens now, sir? Rowe looked at Earth on the screen. Now, he said, we make sure no one ever feels forced to do this again. Human fleets slowly reduced patrols. Defensive systems remained but hidden. Human diplomats spoke softly, firmly. Their message was simple. We want peace, but we will never be helpless again. The galaxy listened. Empires signed new laws. No surprise attacks. No civilian targeting. No testing humanity. Not because humans demanded it, but because everyone understood the cost. Back in the council hall, Virex delivered his final declaration. We once believed strength was size, he said. Then we believed it was technology. He looked around the room. We were wrong. He took a deep breath. True strength, he said, is a species that will burn itself to protect its home, and then choose restraint when it could rule everything. No one spoke because they finally understood. Humans were not gods because they loved war. Humans were gods of war because they hated it enough to end it. Far away, Earth turned peacefully beneath its sun. A small blue world. Still gentle. Still dangerous. And the galaxy made a silent promise. Never again force humanity to show what it is capable of.